Today is a fun day to stretch. Hey everyone, Cristin Som here, and today's going to be fun. I'm pretty excited. So we have our flying geese blocks for our Jingle All the Way quilt, and we have our chenille stockings. You guys did such a great job. Did you get your chenille really scruffy? It's hard to tell in the photos, but hopefully in real life you're like, oh, this looks great. All right, and then we also have all of section 1 and all of section 2, and then we have a bunch of extra blocks. So we are just jamming along, and today is like the crazy easiest day, so I thought we'd do a little stretch exercise with it, and I found something really fun that will actually stretch us just a tiny bit and make it fun to personalize our quilt. So I'm going to show you how to do that after just a bit. So let's talk about what we need for today. We're just going to do one simple border block. Look at that. Like the easiest day ever, right? So this is section 3 border blocks. In my book, they're shown on page 13. So very simple. Look at this, just so easy. So our border block is going to be this gray and with big white dots on it fabric. I do recommend backing this with fusible stabilizer. We're going to quilt it, and then for those that want to stretch, we're going to add some embroidery to it as well. So I do recommend adding fusible stabilizer to this. All right, so we're going to start with this. Let's see, what do we have? 3 by 7 is my guess. Let's see, section 3, there it is, 3 by 7. So in the book it'll say 2.5 by 6.5, and that will work. If you didn't see the prep video when I recommended cutting your border blocks a 1/2 inch larger, the 2.5 by 6.5 will work. But if you have enough fabric, I recommend cutting it 3 by 7. That makes it a little bit easier. It will do our tack down, and we'll cut it down at the end, and it makes sure that it's not pulling in from those stitches. That's the big thing. All right, so either 2.5 by 6.5, or my recommendation is 3 by 7, and my recommendation also is to stabilize it. All right, and then our batting, same thing, 3 by 7. All right, 3 by 7 for your batting on this one super easy block. Now you can just quilt this and be done and put your section 3 together. You can absolutely do that, totally up to you, or you can stretch a little bit and add to it. So on the quilting, I am going to use chevron 2 in a 2.5 by 6.5 design. All right, you can use any quilting design that is 2.5 by 6.5. Any of them will work great. Chevron 2 looks really cute. I already did a little peek, and by the way, that's in the Jingle All the Way quilting bundle. So if you bought the Jingle All the Way quilting bundle, it's there for you. All right, so chevron 2. I think it was horizontal that I'm going to use, but I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you. But whatever quilting design that you want, that's 2.5 by 6.5. Another option, if you're not going to do the stretch exercise and you want, because I want something a little bit more bland that's not going to stand out a lot, because I'm going to put something on top of it. If you're not going to do that, another option, something to consider, is Christmas 9. That has some words on it. So I don't remember what words, but I wrote that in my notes because I had considered doing that. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to do a little stretch instead. So I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you how to do the stretch exercise if you decide. Hey everyone, so I have a fun stretch exercise for us for our border block today. So if you open up a browser and go to Etsy.com, and then up in the search bar, type single reindeer mini embroidery design. All right, and it can be anything that you want, but this is what I found. Look at how cute this is. Isn't that so fun? So purchase that design or whatever mini design that you would like, whatever works for you. All right, and then download it. So once you place your order on Etsy, then you'll get you'll just stay on that screen and it'll come to a download link. So download it. My downloads go to my desktop, so it's right here. So I'm going to double click on that to extract it. I'm going to bring it over here so you can see. All right, extract all. extract, and mine goes to my desktop. So wherever yours goes, you need to know where to find it. All right, and it creates another one. Here's the zipped folder and here's the unzipped folder. I'm going to go ahead and delete the zipped one now that I have the unzipped one. And I'm just going to double click on that. I like to delete all these extras. I use Pez and I just delete these extras to free up space on my full hard drive. All right, so I'm just going to just delete most of the things. All right, and then from here, there's the different size options. So I want to show you. So now I'm going to open up Embellishment Essentials. That's the embroidery software that I highly recommend. All right, and I'll move this over a bit so that you can see everything, because right now my head is in the way. It's going to ask me if I want to do the update, which I still haven't done. You've probably already done the update. I have not, and it didn't ask me. All right. Okay, so first start out by seeing what hoop size you're on. So I'm on my 5x7 hoop. That's actually the one that I want. So I'm going to, if you're not on the hoop size you want, come to this preferences folder, click on the hoop size you want, say okay, and then click on this compass button and click H for hoop. So it zooms into the hoop. All right. Now I'm going to show you a little something. If you double click down here at the bottom where it says hoop, if you double click on that word hoop, it turns your hoop. How cool is that? All right, so I want it this way so that I can see what I'm going to do. So we're going to start by bringing in our quilting design. So I'm going to open up, let's see, I'll move this back over so I've got some room. I'll bring this over here and I'm going to open up my Jingle All the Way and my quilting bundle and chevron 2, and I'm just going to click on my Brilliance that's up here. I think I got to move this down a little bit. There we go. All right. Now I want chevron 2, and I'm going to do the 4x6, no, 2x6. And I want to view these. So I want to see them very well because there's horizontal and vertical. So I'm going to click on the extra large version up here in the view menu, and I'm going to come down to the 2x6 is what I would like. So 2x14, there it is, 2x6. So 2x6 chevron in horizontal or in vertical. So keep in mind that our block is going to be turned horizontally. So decide how you want your chevron to be. I want this one, so I'm going to go with the horizontal. So I'm going to double click on that. Don't double click on it. I always tell you that. I'm so sorry. I'm used to it. So I'm just going to click outside, so that's not selected. Now just grab it and drag it to your Embellishment Essentials software or whatever software you're using. And then I'm going to close that. Now notice it is going vertically and my hoop is going horizontally. So I'm going to click on that design. You have to click on the stitching for it to catch. And then I'm going to click on this arrow button. You can do left or right, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, and then it is already centered and it is turned the way that I want it. I do need to change just a couple of these designs. So the blue and orange comes up twice, so I want to click outside so nothing is selected, and I'm going to choose one of those blues and oranges and just change them so that those don't group together when we do a color sort. I'm going to move my folder here, my work space over to the left so my head's not in the way. All right, so from here, I'm on 1-3. I'm going to click on the color down in this properties window, and then I'm going to choose the first color that comes up for me, and that is dark aqua, and say okay. And we're just changing it so that we can merge later, do a color sort without having them all join together. All right, so 1-4, click on the color, and first color that comes up for me is Blaze, and say okay. All right, so that's done. Click outside so nothing is selected. You can see your pretty quilting design here. Now I want to bring in that reindeer. All right, so I'm going to click on my reindeer folder. Now I want to show you something. So if you grab the 1.5 inch and bring it over, that looks pretty good, but I actually want it a little bit bigger. And in my opinion, it's better to go small, to shrink down than to go up. So I'm going to actually do the 2 inch. I'm going to bring that one over, drag it over. It goes on top of that first one, and you can see it's a little too big. All right, because this is going to be this part is that part that is going to be our seam allowance, that 1/4 inch seam allowance all around. So we want to make sure that none of our reindeer is getting in that seam allowance. So we do want it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to take this reindeer I'm going to bring them over here to the left, all right? And I want to shrink them down. So this smaller one, the 1.5 inch, I don't want that one. I want the bigger one, and I'm going to shrink them down a little bit. Again, you can use this 1.5 and be perfectly happy with it, but I'd rather go a little bit bigger. So I'm going to just, while it's selected, I'm going to delete that one. So that's that 1.5 inch reindeer, all right? So this 2-inch reindeer, like I said, it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to just shrink it down a little bit. So any of the corner edges, any of these corner black squares you can use to shrink it down. And I shrunk it down just a little bit. Let's see. If I move it up here, I can see what size. And you're really just guessing. So within this orange, there's this outer orange line and the inner orange. That one is our batting, and we want it to line up within there. I'm going to go, I think, just a tiny bit smaller. All right, so mine is 1 inch by 1 3/4. That's the size that I've chosen mine to be. So just to give you an idea of size. All right, so that works out really well. Now there's black, amber red, and dark brown. I don't have that already in my quilting design, so I can go ahead and leave that as is. Excuse my phone dinging. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on that reindeer, and I want a few of them. You could do 3 of them. You could do 4 of them. I think you can even fit 5. Let's just see. So I have Control C to copy it, and I'm going to say Control V like victory to paste it. It goes right on top of that first one, and I'm just going to take it and move it over. All right. Where you have it doesn't matter, because we're going to do an align and distribute. All right, so now that we've already got that copied, I'm going to do another paste. It's already copied, so all you have to do is hit Control V like victory to paste a third one. All right, and then bring it over to where you want it. Control V for a fourth one. And it looks like we can fit 5. Let's just try. And just whatever look you're going for, it doesn't matter. Control V for one more. All right, that looks good. Now here's the key. You want the first one and the last one to be lined up where you really want it to be. The others will move around when we do an align and distribute, but that first one and the last one you want pretty close to where you want it to be, all right, just so that we can utilize that whole space. All right. So if I click outside, you can see that these are closer together, these are further apart. So I want them to be just right. I want them to be lined up just right. So I'm going to close up these designs with those, the 5 reindeer. All right, I'm going to close up the quilting design too, but we're not going to worry about the quilting design because that was already centered just right. So what I'm going to do is from the bottom here, oh, so I want to do one other thing. So we have all these adorable reindeer that have black noses, and my first one, I want him to have a red nose. So I'm going to click on that last one. This is number 6. Remember, we put them in order from last to first. You can move the order if you want. Like if you didn't like the order that you had them, if you started them to the right and like whatever, it's not going to really matter. But if you wanted to, you would just right click on it. I'm going to click outside so I can right click this on this reindeer. And I can say move him last, and then he'll be stitching last. So it'll go the second reindeer, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and then back to that first one. All right, I don't want to do that, but I'm just telling you that you can. So to move him back to where he was, I'm just going to drag him up here. And when you do that, let me see if I got the right one. Nope, so he's right here. So I'm going to right click on him, and I'm going to say move earlier, and he'll go 1 up. All right, and really none of that matters unless you're like me and you want it to stitch in the right order. All right, but this last one, this one in the front, really, I want him to have a red nose like Rudolph. All right, so I'm going to change the nose on just that one. So if I click on 6-3, he's the 6th reindeer that's going to stitch, and the last step, the 6-3, that is his nose. So I'm just going to click on this color properties down here in the properties window, click on that. I'm going to type in red and see if I can find a red. It's giving me red metallic. That's not really very red. I'm going to just scroll through here and find a red. And again, it doesn't matter because you're going to, it's just stopping so that you can put whatever thread color you want. So I have regular red, say okay. So then when we do that color sort, all of the noses will will merge together except for that red nose. I want that one to stand out different. All right, and that's just my choice, whatever works for you. All right, I'm going to close up that. Now from the bottom, I'm going to click and drag up, and I'm just going to get those reindeer, just the 5 reindeer. All right, and I want to go to the utility color sort, not color sort, sorry, utility align and distribute. All right, click on utility align and distribute. All right, and they're already pretty lined up, and actually I don't think it matters. Let's see. I wonder if it does. I don't think it does. I'm gonna leave out the align for now, and I'm gonna click on this distribute tab. All right, and I want to say, let's see, does center work? Let's try it. Center, and extent of selection. I remember one of them brings them all together. Let's just check. All right, I'm gonna say center, extent of selection, apply. And that did it. That's what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to move this over so you can see what happened. And you can see now they are the right amount of space in between each one. All right, and they are lined up within the quilt block. So this is actually perfect. They're just how I wanted them to be. So play around with that, get it how you want it. I think this looks great. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to click outside so nothing is selected. Look at how cute that will look with the chevron. That's so cute. I think that'll be really fun. Keep in mind that this is on a pretty busy fabric. It's gray with those big white dots. You could change out your fabric and make it a plain fabric, but I think it's just 2 colors. I don't think it'll be too busy. I think it'll be really cute. So cross our fingers and we'll see how it comes out. So right now we have 20 color steps. I'm going to go to utility color sort. Now that we have them lined up, you have to make sure that they're lined up how you want them first before you do your color sort. All right, utility color sort, and it thinks. Don't forget you need these same settings that I have to get the same results. And I'm going to click new view. It says it's reduced it by 11 color changes. So new view opens a new tab, which again, it will turn that hoop back. So I'm just going to double click on hoop so that it turns again. And then we just want to quickly check it and make sure it did what we want it to do. So we have our placement for our batting, our tack down of our batting, our placement of the main fabric and the tack down of the main fabric, and then that quilting design. And then we have all of the antlers on all of the reindeer merged together. That saves a lot of time. And then all of the reindeer bodies. And then we have all of the black noses, and then it will stop so that we can change to have Rudolph have a red nose. How cute. Isn't that just so cute? And it was so easy to do. Sorry, my phone keeps dinging. So now we're down to 9 color steps. Super easy, super cute. I love this. I think this will be really fun to do. All right, so I'm going to do a file, save stitch file as. We just have that one border block to work on. So I'm going to go up to, let's see, desktop and find my Jingle all the way and the embroidery files, Pez, and I'm going to name this. I first need to make sure I'm on Pez. All right, and then I'm going to name this border block section 3. All right, and save it. And my machine is not turned on, or I would send it to my machine. If you have a Wi-Fi machine, you can send it, or you can transfer it to a USB stick. Either way will work great, but I'm curious to see. So are you going to do reindeer? Are you going to do Santa faces? Are you going to do gingerbread? I mean, there's so many ideas of fun things that you can add to your border block if you choose. All right, let's get started. do it. Oh my gosh, isn't that so cute? I love that. I think that is just so fun. So remember, this is from Etsy. It's a shop called Apple Dumpling Design. It's $2.50. You get 4 different designs, or 4 different sizes from 1.5 inches to 3 inches. Or go through your minis and see what you already have, what you can fit on there. Get creative, do whatever you want, or leave it as is and just quilt it. That's all good too. For those that have made a donation to the Cristin Creates tutorials, I can adjust this for you. But again, this is not my design. So you have to buy the design from Etsy, from Apple Dumpling Designs on Etsy, and send me a screenshot showing that you purchased it. And if so, I need to know the format of your machine. Actually, I should already have that for those of you that have made a donation. I've got a spreadsheet of all of you. So I will send you the adjustments where it's all aligned and distributed just right. But again, you have to show me that you purchased this design, or do it on your own. I showed you how to do it, or find a design that you already have and play around with it, make something fun. I can't wait to see what you do with your border block. Shirt today, this is a really fun one because I blinged it out like crazy. There is a ton of bling on this shirt. So it says bloom where you are planted. I think it's a Hoop Mama design. I will add all the information underneath this video. The sweatshirt, it's a little hoodie, a thin little hoodie. It's from Fred Meyer's, local Fred Meyer's. But look at all the bling on this. Isn't that so fun? I love this. So this is a really fun design and a fun way to bling it out. I have a bunch of Hot Fix rhinestones in my Amazon storefront, and a bunch of sweatshirts that I recommend for embroidering on, sweatshirts or thin shirts, depending on your climate. We're not in too cold yet, but next week it's going to get really cold. So anyway, I will add all the information for this design underneath this video in the video notes. And how are you doing with your goal? I know a lot of people, their goal is to keep up with this project, and I'm loving seeing all the photos. Everybody is doing so great keeping up. So I'm working on this project and working on other things to get them off of my to-do list and enjoy more things. And then I'm also working out like a crazy person. We went to boot camp yesterday, and then I did a 3-mile run on the treadmill, and like my whole body is so sore. We did push-ups. I'm just so weak. My upper body is so weak. So everything just hurts every time we do weight training. So I'm working it really hard. I have to show you really quick. Look at this little Boo Bear. Isn't he so cute? So he's a bear dressed up as a ghost. This is from Etsy, from Peanut Creations. And my niece came over the other day, and we had a fun day of making a stuffy. So I'm going to send this to my grandkids. If I had thought ahead, I thought it would have been so fun to get one of those little, in fact, they're in my Amazon storefront because people were asking about doing it for Jingle, but it's one of those like recorders, and you can record a sound onto it. It would have been so fun to put this inside of the bear and have it go boo from Grandma's voice. I thought that would have been cute. Anyway, so I'm making lots of things on the side. I went to a concert with my friend Cristin. Oh my God. It was crazy. It was so fun. So it was REO Speedwagon and Rick Springfield, like 80s bands, right? And not totally my thing, but I'm pretty much up for anything with my friends. So we had a really good time. Super fun. That was fun. What else? There was something else I did fun. Oh, the day with my niece over. That was fun. So we had a whole day where I didn't do any email, I didn't do anything. I just played and helped teach my niece how to make this little bear that's dressed up as a ghost for Christmas. I thought that was really cute. So how are you doing with your goal? Are you keeping up? Are you staying healthy, eating healthy, doing all the things, staying away from Halloween candy? Oh my gosh, that's hard. Anyway, let me know how you're doing with your goal.